So in this video, I just like to talk about a couple more of the settings for your item. So I'm going to click on edit on the item, and I'm looking at the bottom section of the settings. I did talk about default quantity. However, I wanted to go over some of these other settings, such as override default handling time. And the purpose of the setting is that you have a certain number of days of handling time set in your Amazon account. However, if for some reason you wanted to set a different handling time for this particular item, you could do so here. So if you're dealing with an item or a supplier that has a really long handling time for some reason, you could change the default. You could change the handling time for this item by overriding the default handling time. And then you have this option, which is pause repricing. And notice it says does not pause supplier checking. Pause repricing means that SKUGrid will not change the price of your item on Amazon. And I mean, usually you wouldn't want this, but you can turn this option on. You do have this option. You can put it to yes, and what it will do is just freeze the price that you have on Amazon. I suppose this could come in handy if you're having some kind of issue where for some reason you need to keep the price at a particular price. But I mean, the option is there if you want to use it. And then of course, in the previous video I already talked about the default quantity, which you can set to a certain number. So just wanted you to be aware of these two other options: override default handling time and pause repricing. And at this point in this SKUGrid training, I believe that you have everything that you need for getting started with SKUGrid. There are more options and more things that SKUGrid can do, but I believe that within this training, it gives you everything that you need to get started using SKUGrid with Amazon Dropshipping, to add your items onto SKUGrid, to then monitor your items for stock, to reprice your items, change the price of your items onto SKUGrid. I believe you have everything you need to get started with that. And if you have questions, you can always leave questions, comments, suggestions, or questions on any of these videos. And if you're subscribed to my list, you can also email me, reply to any of the emails that I've sent out. Also, make sure to download and get your copy of my Amazon Dropshipping Excel system if you have not done so already. So this system, which I used to create the SKU earlier. If you're using SKUGrid to reprice items, then you don't really need to use the repricing part of my system. It does have the ability to reprice, and you do have the ability to add cashback here, your Amazon fee, and it will tell you the profit that you can expect to make. All the same things I did on my online calculator. But if you're using SKUGrid to reprice your items, then you don't necessarily need to use that part. However, I do think this is very useful for maintaining a list, your own list of items. I really believe in maintaining your own list of your products. Also, it allows you to handle orders. You can put all your order information in here, and you don't have to use every single column. You may not care, for instance, about using ship by or deliver by date, but you can fill in the parts that are necessary, and it will calculate your costs from the supplier, as well as your profit, as well as your cashback, as well as your total profits. There's also a refund section which you can use for returns and cancellations. It will calculate for you your profit loss. And then there's a profit section which will give you a daily profit summary once you enter the dates in here. I actually have a series of videos where I demonstrate how to actually use this Excel system. So you can always watch that video series on this same channel. And again, make sure you get a copy of this Excel system. But mainly, overall, the purpose of this training was to learn how to get started and get your settings started with SKUGrid. And so thank you for watching the training. I hope you really found this helpful and useful. If you're ready to start using SKewGrid, then you can go ahead, click the link, and start getting set up on SKewGrid, or maybe you've already done so. And there are tons of suppliers here, so make sure you go through the suppliers. Here's the suppliers list for SKewGrid, and I would suggest actually going into these suppliers and checking them out. See what products they have, see if you can find some of their products on Amazon. Just try to get a feel for some of these suppliers, because you have so many suppliers to choose from many different countries. You have tons for the US, you have some for United Kingdom, so on and so forth. So I definitely encourage you to do that. And again, let me know if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in another video.